Hello everyone, my name is Adriana and I work here at Studio 300 within Fountaindale Library. Today I want to talk to you about gameplay streaming. We're going to focus on using the PS4 going out to a Twitch account. Now getting started as a streamer is as simple as having your game console, a decent headset, a web camera, and some time. So let's talk about getting started. One of the first things that you want to consider when you begin streaming is the type of content that you're going to be producing. Now, the games that you want to be playing are obviously the games that you love. But if they happen to be the games that everybody loves, you may get lost in the shuffle. So consider maybe adding a second or third game that aren't as popular where you may stand out from the crowd and get some followers to watch your other gameplays. Don't get discouraged when you first start out. Everybody starts with 0 followers. It's going to take some time to build your audience, so continue putting in the effort and you will get that following. Consider the space that you're going to be streaming in. You're usually going to be streaming for a couple of hours at a time, so you want to be very comfortable where you're streaming. Also, if you're going to be showing your background, make sure it's not super cluttered, but also make sure it's not blank. That way your audience can pay attention to you without being distracted from the background. One of the key elements to streaming is your internet connection. You want to make sure that you have a nice steady internet connection so that you're able to stream continuously. Nothing can be worse than when you're in the middle of a great stream and all of a sudden your connection fails. Try to schedule some of your streams around times where your internet isn't as busy. Lighting is very important. You want to make sure that you're lit well so that your audience can see you. You don't have to break the bank to be lit well. Today I'm actually being lit by natural light. The windows are right in front of me, so they're actually lighting me. But I could also add lamps. I do have some overheads that are lighting me as well. Or you can check out a lighting kit from the studio. Sound is also going to be super important when you're streaming. You're going to be constantly talking either about the game or you're going to be interacting with your chat. So you want to make sure that you have a good, decent mic to work with. When you first get started, most likely you're going to be using a game headset. This is where you want to spend a little bit of extra cash and get a headset that has a high quality mic. Otherwise, you also have some options here. We have several USB mics that do go out the door, so you can check one out at Studio 300. If streaming is just a hobby for you, then you don't really need to set a schedule. But if you foresee that this is something that you really want to do and maybe turn it into a career, you want to start taking control of your streams. So you want to make sure you set yourself a schedule and stick to it. That way your audience knows when they can expect to see you on. If your schedule changes, make sure to update it on your accounts and make sure you let your chat know as well. So let's hop on over to the PS4 and take a look on how to get started. I'm going to show you a couple of pieces of equipment that are available for you. And then I'm also going to talk about a couple software options that you may not know are out there for you. So here we are on the PlayStation 4, and what you want to do is take a look at some of the settings. So if you go up into the settings menu, you will go down to the share and broadcast menu. And what you want to do is take a look at linking your service. So you can select Twitch, Twitter, or YouTube. Go ahead and follow the instructions on how to link up your account. Make sure you already have an account so that you can link it with your PS4. And then you will go over to broadcast settings, and there's a couple advanced settings that you can change. For example, you can send a message to your spectators, so it's a little banner that will appear at the bottom of your screen. Here I am going to type a simple little message, and I can select the background color. And then you can go ahead and type out your message that will appear during your stream. This is a static message, so it won't be changed unless you change it while you're streaming, which is going to be difficult because you need to stop streaming to change it. And then you want to take a look at some of your audio settings as well. Make sure you're including the microphone audio in your broadcast. Make sure that option is clicked. And then if you're playing with friends and you're streaming together, you want to share the audio. And this would bring in the audio from your friends, but you also want to make sure that they are sharing their audio. Otherwise, you will not be able to hear them. Okay guys, so here I am on my Twitch channel. I am currently logged in. As you can see, I have some channels that I follow, and then there are some recommended channels. We want to make sure that we kind of start to customize Twitch to better suit our needs. And one of the things you might want to consider is switching over to dark mode. So we'll go do that in settings. But I would encourage you to kind of take a look at other people's channels and see how they're customizing their channel. So I'm going to take a look at Vestmore first. And as you can see, Vestmore has his own logo design, which is embedded into his profile picture. He's got the scrolling banner that's saying he's either hosting or, he's sending you over to a different channel to check out content. He's offline, and you can see when he last streamed. But as you can see, this is a scrolling kind of carousel banner, and it does kind of obscure the background banner. So you want to be careful when you are customizing your channel of where you are placing things, because if you put your picture like here in the center, chances are you will not see it. And then if we go over to like 269's channel, as you can see, the placement was a lot better here. If his image had been in the center, it would be obscured by this carousel. The only thing is his sponsored links are hidden a little bit. So you do want to take that into consideration when you are kind of laying out your own channel. So let's take a look at how to make some changes. First of all, we want to go over to settings. And this is where you're going to start making some changes. So you have the ability to change some of your profile settings. You're able to update your picture, which if you have a logo, you can embed that here. Otherwise, you can add your picture. Faces are easily recognizable, so that's usually great. You can upload a profile banner. I recommend not stealing anyone's work. You do want to create your own banner, something that is tailored to your look and needs. And you do want these things to kind of go along with each other. As you can see, I have not touched this channel for a very long time, so I haven't really even designed anything for it. So things don't look very well. I need to actually update some things. You do have the ability to kind of edit your username, display names, and then create a little bit of a bio, and then you're able to disable your account if you need to. The other settings you do want to look at is notifications. You want to see which notifications you want to get on where. So you may want to shut some of these off. Otherwise, you're going to get notified just about everywhere. And you want to make sure your security and privacy is set up well so that no one else can log into your account. And then if we look over to channel and videos, it brings us to the dashboard. So we want to go home first to kind of take a look at that. I do recommend that if you have some time, go ahead and watch some of these. These are some great little videos on how to get started on becoming a Twitch streamer. And it really gives you some good tips and advice that you want to follow. And that'll give you a little bit of information on your own channel. Then you have the stream manager. So here is where you would be able to kind of load some content, create and edit your stream info, and do things like that. Your analytics are going to be in insights, and then your community, so your followers and things like that, and you can assign roles to your followers, is all there. And then you also have your video producer. So you do want to take a look at that. So as you can see, I was doing a lot of tests today, so all these test runs were earlier. And I have all these videos that are now on my archived on my Twitch channel. I can delete these if I want to, so you have the option to delete. You can export, you can watch, you can create a highlight reel from this actual video. You can download it if you're going to be editing it on a different software, or you can add it to a collection or edit some of the details. And then you have collections. So collections are going to be great for those of you that are going to be streaming more than one video game. So if you're streaming Minecraft, but you're also streaming Fortnite, then you'd want to create kind of a collection for each. And then you have clips here that you get from your video producer. You do have the ability to kind of change your preferences. So you have your channel, and then you have your stream key. So this is something that you would use for, say, OBS Labs or Streamlabs OBS or things like that. You may be asked for a stream key. So this is where you would get that. And then you would definitely want to make sure to store your past broadcasts, because you never know when you want to create new content from that, whatever you've streamed before. You do want to either enable or disable this depending on your channel. So you want to make sure that you talk to your parents about mature content on your channel, and if they're okay with it, then you can go ahead and get that permission. Otherwise, I would say make sure that that is off. And that leads me to moderation. So Twitch has an auto moderator built into it that you can turn on. By default, it's set to 0, meaning it is not moderating anything, no words, no language, no content, anything that's happening in chat or anything like that. But if you go to the rules, you can kind of set some moderation levels. So you have the drop downs here, and you can say, how much moderation you want. So I would definitely talk to your parents about which moderation levels you want to have, and then go ahead and save your settings. And then the last thing that I would say is take a look at the streaming tools. So one of the things that is great about streaming is that you don't need a lot. You can definitely do streaming straight from your console without having to touch Twitch constantly. Though I would say, manage your content and, definitely interact with your audience. That is what's going to get you followers. You want to build a community, you want to build a fan base, you want to build subscribers, and that all happens when you continue to communicate with your audience. Now, once you've gotten the hang of it and you want to do a little bit more, and you want your streams to have a little bit more of a tailored look, or you're going to be adding different hardware sources, that's when you would start taking a look at softwares like Twitch Studio, which is now in beta, and we'll take a quick look at that. OBS Studio software, which does a great job, and you can do capturing and you can do streaming as well. And then you have Streamlabs OBS, which is a little more automated than OBS. OBS does have a bit of a learning curve. So why don't we take a look first at Twitch Studio? So I'm going to go ahead and open that up. And basically, out of the box, you have to kind of configure it to work with everything that you have connected. As of right now, I have a USB mic connected, and I did connect a capture card. So as you can see right here, I can kind of say, hey, this is where I'm getting things from. And then if you go to next, it'll say, what are you going to be calling this? Where is it going live? And things like that. So you can edit some of this information. So you have some layouts that you can create. So you have your main layout. So this is right now I'm connected to the Elgato HD60S, and I'm playing some background content from a different computer at this point. And then you have your Be Right Back, which you can customize as well. Which is great because you can also put like your schedule, like you're going to be back, but when are you going to be back? And then you have just a basic chatting. So just if you're, on camera, and you just get a basic color background. You can definitely start streaming from here. So you would go here, and then you are going to make your selections here. So you can decide where you're getting your content from, and then go ahead and set everything up. I'm not going to go live at this point. And you can go here and you can choose layouts as well. So if I go to main, we'll go back to that one and then I can go live. Um, so those are some pretty cool and simple little things that you can do here with Twitch Studio. One of the great things, though, that I think Twitch Studio has that I have not seen on other softwares is their audio controls. So if we go to the audio controls, which are right next to the primary microphone, you have the default mic here. So you can see my levels are popping in right here. And I usually want to be as close to this as possible, but this is fine right now. And I can go to edit so I can make some changes here. One of the great things that Twitch Studio has is a couple of things. For those of you that tend to be screamers, where you're in the middle of the game and you're really excited and you tend to scream really loud, a compressor is going to go a long way for you. It's going to make sure that you're not completely distorted or you're not blowing out the mic as you're screaming. The other thing that I absolutely love that they included is this noise gate. So what a noise gate does is, for example, this is my voice, I'm speaking, I'm probably speaking at about 24 decibels on the mic right now. Um, but you can set a threshold. So negative 32 decibels is what this threshold is set to. Anything below that threshold, it is going to cut out. So say the fan's whirring from your console or you have a fan in the background, nothing too loud. Obviously, if it's competing with your voice, it's not going to help. But if it's like a hum or, just some minor background audio, it is going to take that audio out for you and just kind of get rid of it. So that is really great. You want to play around with this, but you don't want to be super aggressive because you will start to cut out your voice as well if you go higher. I would actually bring this down a bit. So that is a great feature to have, and I am so glad that they included it. So here we are in Streamlabs OBS, and I've already set up one scene. So basically you can set up different scenes and you can kind of switch between them. So if you were going to have like different content displaying from different areas, you would want to be able to set up scenes individually for those different sources. And then you can set up for each scene, you can set up the sources of where material is coming in from. So you're able to add mics, you're able to add images, you're able to add a video capture device or different things. What they also have is these great widgets. And one of my favorites is the alert box because it does allow you to automate a lot of the things that happen on your channel, like subscribers or donations or things like that. You're able to get like these little alerts that'll let you know, hey, someone just donated money to you. Hey, someone just subscribed to your channel. So if you double click on the alert box, it's going to bring up the widget editor. So you're able to kind of take a look here. So if we go, let's say, to subscriptions, you're able to take a look at the gifts that are available for this, and you can kind of select the one you want, and then you're able to choose the layout. So whether you want it to be above and below or crossover or side to side, and then you're able to select your message, your font, your size, and everything right here, colors and everything. And then you're able to test the widget. So if I go to subscription, there we go. It's gotten there. So we have the text, we have the little GIF going, and we are able to kind of really automate what our channel is doing. And as you can see, you get this little box that tells you where that is going to appear. So if your camera is up here, you're definitely going to want to put your widget appearing down here. And you actually can put it right in the center, which that's by default where it ends up. And it's pretty big, so you will want to resize this since you don't want to cover the content that you're displaying. The other great thing about Streamlabs is they do have a lot of themes that you can tailor the look of your channel to, which is really great, but there are some drawbacks to that. As you go here and look for themes, you have scene themes, you have widget themes, you have site themes for your actual Twitch site. They are very tailored looks and they look amazing. Don't get me wrong, they do look amazing, but they are a lot of the content is Prime, so you would have to pay for it, or be subscribed to their Prime version. And the second thing is that things that are very popular tend to end up popping up in a lot of different channels. So, for example, this organic one, it's probably a fairly popular streaming theme. So chances are you get it and 300 other people get it, so you no longer look unique. So this is where it kind of has a drawback on having so many of these. Um, it does tailor the look, but you can end up with a lot of people having the same look. You do have a dashboard that you can go to make other customizations. And I do encourage you to kind of look through here because you can go in here and look at your analytics, your recent events. You can do your alert box through here as well. So you can kind of preview things. It might be easier sometimes to do it online if the application is being a little clunky. And then you have the ability to kind of look at your subscriber history and your donation history, or even try the Prime. So there's a lot to do here. There is a lot of things that you are able to try out. So I would encourage you to take a look at both the Twitch Studio and the Streamlabs. I would definitely encourage you to, at some point, look at OBS software because you will be able to do quite a few things there. It does have a little bit of a steep learning curve. There's a lot of things that you kind of have to learn, but it's doable. So there are a lot of resources out there for streamers to get started, and I would encourage you to definitely take advantage of all that is out there, including tutorials and things like that. But as far as hardware goes, there are some options for you if you are a Fountaindale library card holder, or you are a library card holder from somewhere else that have taken orientation. You are able to check out some of the equipment that you may need to get started in streaming. So if you go to the Fountaindale website and go over to Learning and Tech and Studio 300, you will be able to take a look at some of our equipment. This list is currently being updated, but you do have, audio and music. So you would be looking at like the Shure MV51. This is a great microphone that I'm currently using. It's a USB mic that you can check out for 5 days and be able to take that home. You would definitely be able to look at the lighting. So we do have some video lights that go out. We have some little lights that are able to like hook up to a smaller tripod, or we do have like a 3 light LED light kit. So there are options for you as well. We also have something new, which I don't believe has hit this list yet, but we have an Elgato HD60S. So that is this little guy right here. This is a video capture card, which will allow you to bring in content from different sources via HDMI. So you can go directly from your console into your computer and stream out of like either Twitch Studio or OBS or Streamlabs or whatever, or even their Elgato software, which you can download here. They do have their own capture software, which does come with a few overlays. You can go ahead and, select the HD60S and then go ahead and download the software. It is fairly easy to use. But, the capture card also works with Streamlabs and things like that. You can check this out for 5 days, see if you like it. It'll be really great for you if you want to be able to use your computer basically to set up your streams and make sure that everything is going well with Twitch and kind of
keep a look at the chat while you go ahead and do everything on your console, play from your console and output to your TV. So it's a great little device, and I do encourage anyone that is starting to stream to check it out and see if it's right for you. So that's all I had for you guys today. I hope you learned some stuff. And if you ever have questions or want to talk about games, definitely come down to the studio. All of us play some video games. I definitely play a lot of video games. So I will always be up for those conversations.